You know that feeling you get when you finish reading a book and you're just sitting there stunned? Those are the five-star reads that we love. I know I do. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite five-star reads that blew me away. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. Let's get started. The first book is One Summer in Savannah. So it is about a woman named Sarah who lived in Savannah, Georgia. She was assaulted and she moved away. She stayed gone for some years and her father took ill. So, in order to help her father during his illness, taking care of him, and he also has a bookstore, running the bookstore, she came back to Savannah. When she came back to Savannah, she brought back her daughter, Alana, who is a result of that assault. She is very protective of Alana. She did not want to come back. It was a really hard thing for her to do. So she comes back and she is helping her father. The person who assaulted her is in prison and she knows that he's in prison, so that does give her some comfort. However, she did not know that he had an identical twin brother. So the person who assaulted her is okay. So one brother is Jacob and one is Joseph. I believe Joseph is the guy who assaulted her who is in prison. The twin brother also left at the time of the incident because his family was fractured. He had a very close family. It's his mother, his twin brother, and he has a sister. Their father has passed on. And as a family, they were very, very close. They loved each other very much. After this incident happened, Jacob, I believe, I'm not sure if it's Jacob or Joseph, but one, the brother who is the twin, who is not in prison, he left. He went away to, I guess, kind of collect himself or whatever. And so he also decided to come back to Savannah because he wants to fix his family. And so they are both in Savannah at the same time. And remember, she does not know that her assaulter has a twin brother. This book is so good. It is thought provoking. It is original. Her daughter is a genius. And so, kind of, the family of the people who assaulted her, they are all pretty much overachievers and geniuses as well. And they are going to meet up. And what happens when they meet is where the story begins. This is a really good book, and I loved that they were able to show her trauma, but also the growth of her growing from that trauma, her being able to come out of her shell and being able to um, not hold such a tight rein on her child, because believe me, she had a tight rein on that baby, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it is called One Summer in Savannah, and it is awesome. I enjoyed it. Book number two is called An American Marriage. Now, American Marriage is some years old. I believe it was a bestseller. I know that it was super popular at the time. I have read this book at least three times already. It is so good. So, the book is about Roy and Celestial. So, Roy and Celestial are newlyweds. They do show you, how they got together until they come up to the point where they are, I believe, at their first year's anniversary. And they are in love. They're newlyweds on the night that they are going out to at their anniversary, which they decide to do like a weekend trip. They go on this weekend trip and they go to this hotel and they have a disagreement, and he decides to step out for a minute. He bumps into this woman, he helps her out, and he goes back to his room and spends the time with his wife. The next day, the police come and arrest this man. They arrest him and accuse him of assaulting a woman. Thing, but going to prison for something that you did not do, that is a whole nother ball game. It is not only affecting him, it is affecting his new wife. They have extended family like his parents and her parents. She has a very close friend, and so it kind of takes you through the time where he's in prison and what happens when he gets out, how she is working through the fact that he is in prison for something he didn't do, than that he did not do. And he gets a substantial, super heartbreaking, at least for me. I was angry and I was upset. I was disappointed. Like, this book pulled out some emotions in me that I did not know I could get from a book. I enjoyed it. And if you have not read it, I would definitely recommend this book. Go out and pick it up. Let me know in the comments how you like this book or if you like the book, but I loved it. Book number three, um, Anori, urban fiction book by, dang, Bailey West. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and this was a awesome story. So it starts off where Anuri is in this toxic relationship for 10 years with this guy, and she finally gets to the point where she's had enough. She's done with it. And so they break up, and she is now starting over again. This guy has treated her so badly. This is another book that kind of pissed me off. But when she got with her new guy, he treated her the way a woman should be treated. He really pampered her. He took care of her. He was patient with her. He elevated her. All the things that a man is supposed to do, he did it in this book. The first guy, he was a top notch butthole. He literally stole from her. And like, you're together. Why would you do that? He did everything that you're not supposed to do, and the other guy did everything that you are supposed to do. So they were total opposites. It was a good book. It was fairly short. I think it's about 200 pages, so it's not like, a really, really long story. Um, so the next book number 4, it is going to be Heaven Right Here by Letitia Lovely. Now, Heaven Right Here is I want to say Christian fiction, but it colors outside of the lines for it to be Christian fiction. What I can tell you is that the people are churchgoers. So it is about an older gentleman who is, I want to say, I don't know if he's a bishop or if he is just I think a high ranking pastor is a bishop. So he is, maybe he used to be a pastor. I want to think that he's a bishop because he goes to this church to take over the church because they feel like the stuff that's happening in the church should not be happening. Well, in this particular church, they got too much going on, so they're bringing him in to straighten out the church. He's really stiff necked. He is an older gentleman. I would imagine he's in his 60s, somewhere between 60 and 70. He has a wife. His wife is sort of like the mother everybody loves, and gives everybody advice, and all these kinds of things. But he has this super long name. Unfortunately, I read this book some years ago and I can't remember his name. When I read the synopsis, it only called him Reverend Dr. O. When you read the book, his name is something Reverend Dr. Bishop Obadiah Nehemiah Jeremiah. I don't know. He just has this super long, ridiculous name, but the book is so good and it is super funny. And the thing is, he is so stiff necked that you would assume that his life is well put together and everything's on point. But once you get into the book, you find out that it really isn't that way. That he belonged in the church and he should leave it how it is so that he can mix in with them. That's how bad it is. But it's a really, really good read. And as a matter of fact, it is a part of a series. The series is called the Hallelujah Love series. And so you have Heaven Right Here, Sex in the Sanctuary, um, what else? Reverend Dr. Feelgood, The Divine. So there's like 10 books in the series. It is a really good series, but Heaven Right Here is so good. It is hilarious. Like I said, I think it came out in like maybe 2009 or something like that, but it is really good and it's good for a laugh. So, yeah, that is book number 4. Book number 5. Book number 5, I think we'll go with um, The Sky is Full of Elephants. Now, The Sky is Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell is a new book. I believe it just came out sometime this year. It was a recommendation from another booktuber, and I truly enjoyed this book. It is dystopian. So basically, what happens is there is an event, and one day all of the white people just walk into the ocean, and so now you have everybody is not white. So basically from the book, it sounds like everybody's black, but then they have this one section where all the other people live. And the thing is, when you get into the book, it's really not about being white. It's about a particular type of mindset, and all of those people walked into the ocean. So there are still some people there. There are people who are biracial and Asian. But what I got from the book was more about resiliency of black people, the love, the heart, the community, the culture, just all of these things all wrapped up together. You have to know that if all of the people who are not black left, there would be some holes to fill because, especially like, say, for instance, in government and different things like that, although there are black people in those spaces, there are not a lot of black people in those spaces. So all of these different spaces have to be filled. They have to figure out how to run this country. And are they going to run it the same way, or are they going to come up with new rules and new, things that are happening? Are, just what's going to happen? It's really more about this one guy named Charlie who has a biracial daughter that he has not actually, he's never seen her because he was in prison up until this particular event happened. And then, of course, there's nobody there to keep him in. So everybody came out. And so now he is a professor at Harvard, I believe it is. And his daughter calls him up and she needs help. And so it's about their relationship. But of course, the entire book is not about their relationship. It is about the different things that are happening, other people who are in the book, their relationship with other people, and how he sees himself after being in prison, how she sees herself without the rest of her family because she grew up with her mom. There are just so many things happening in this book. It is really intriguing. Now, I had to stop a few times to just kind of think about it, like, what do I think I would do in that situation? So this book was awesome. I loved it. And I got a chance to thank the other booktuber for the recommendation, which I'm happy to be able to do that. I'm not going to mention the person's name because I don't know that they want to be mentioned, but it was a really, really good book. So if you have read any of these books, or if you have any really good recommendations, um, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would love to hear what some of your favorite five-star reads are, and if you've read any of mine. So until next time, hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.